want to start here, man, because I missed so much time. Last week I missed you all. I really did miss you all. I wasn't watching y'all, but I was missing y'all, if that makes sense. Because I just need to take a little break. And this Natalie thing just intrigues me. So I know you got into it already with Natalie. I want to just revisit this again. Her issue with Nikola Jokic is that he can't win 3 straight MVPs because 3 straight MVPs is for somebody.
It's rare air. That's part of it.
But okay.
I'll try to speak for her. It's multifaceted.
Yeah.
She's on vacation right now. I wonder if, unlike you, she's actually watching the show on vacation. We'll ask her later. But okay, so this is kind of like.
Go ahead. I'll take that. I'll take that smoke. That's fine. She probably is watching.
If I may speak for her, multifaceted. One,
yeah.
I think there's something about Nikola Jokic having not done anything in the playoffs, being in the same conversation when it comes to the history of the league as Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, as people who win 3 straight MVPs. That's part of it. Not a big part, but that's part of it. 2 is last year, she can't get over the fact that Embiid should have won it last year. She thinks Embiid got robbed last year.
He got robbed?
3, yeah. Okay. 3, and this is no particular order. 3, Tatum is her MVP this year, I believe. And slash, why is Nikola Jokic just runaway favorite down the stretch? Why did that recent straw poll have him getting 77 of 100 votes? And then last but not least, this is the big one. This is the one that had us, carried a week's worth of conversation, is there's a double standard at play. Like the voter fatigue that has penalized previous 2-time winners like Giannis most recently does not seem to apply to Jokic this year. I think that about covers all her beef with the MVP.
Yeah, well, I would say this. Look, the MVP, if you're going to look at the regular season aspect of the award, and it is. It's a regular season award.
And it should factor in the postseason. That was the other part.
That's too much. Okay, we can't do that. It's a regular season. It's a regular season award, and there is a postseason MVP, and it's biased too because your team has to be good enough to get to the finals. But your postseason MVP is the NBA Finals MVP, and so that rewards your work specifically in the NBA Finals. But sometimes I think it extends. It extends to your run through the playoffs. But most of the time, it's the NBA Finals, and that's just the way it goes. We're good with that. It's the award that it's the award that I value the most. If I had to pick, is it more impressive that Nikola Jokic has 2 MVPs in the regular season, possibly 3? Is that more impressive? Or is Cedric Maxwell and Chauncey Billups never regular season MVPs, but both finals MVPs? Is that more impressive? Yeah, I'd say finals MVP. That's just me. But anyway.
Well, it's because it goes with the championship. That's why. Like when you say it that way, it sounds crazy because it's like Cedric Maxwell, no disrespect, wasn't a better player than Nikola Jokic is.
He was not. And he would say that.
But it came with the championship, so it's more impressive to you because of what it represents. You were the best player on the biggest stage, which is the NBA Finals.
Yeah, and
more often than not. You may not be the best player in general, but for a 4, 5, 6, or 7 game stretch, you were the best player. But what I was saying is typically the best player in the world or best player in the league ends up being finals MVP. That's the coronation process. Like Giannis was a 2-time MVP, and then he got finals MVP, and only then was he able to declare, and people started to call him the best player in the world. If I could pivot to, something else? Sorry.
Yeah. I just want to point out, and I want you to pivot, but I just want to just point this for a conversation for another day, when Natalie is back here, and we can just do a little, just a conversation between all of us. I just want to point out that we just started counting championships now and penalizing those who don't have them. We just started because I mentioned the logo. Jerry Wright.
That is fundamentally untrue. That is fundamentally untrue. I'm going to let you finish, but that's fundamentally untrue. But continue.
All right. Well, by today's standards, if somebody tried to put the logo, if we could just time travel a little bit, I want to get back to that too. If we could time travel a little bit, and we're deciding on the NBA logo today, and somebody said, yeah, you know, Jerry West. Let's put the silhouette of Jerry West up there. He'd be like, hey, he only won one championship. He only won one championship. Why not Bill Russell? Bill Russell, the Celtics beat them every time. Why are we doing this? And I'll go back to Wilt. 3 straight MVPs, to Natalie's point. Oh, well, he won 3 straight MVPs. Why should Jokic be on the level with Wilt Chamberlain? Well, Wilt Chamberlain and his 3 straight MVPs, he didn't win the championship every one of those years. As a matter of fact, people looked at Bill Russell and said, Bill Russell is the winner, and Chamberlain is the stat monster.
Right.
But they wasn't saying that in 1965, Mike. They weren't saying that about Wilt.
Well, they might have been saying it, but you know, you had to read a newspaper to hear it, or they weren't tweeting it, or they weren't commenting on it. So it was being said, but it was like a tree falling in the forest, because the only way we got our news was through dead trees. The reason I jumped in and said that's fundamentally untrue, because we both remember Tragic Johnson. We both remember Michael Jordan being criticized for not being able to make his teammates better, only being able to get his. Will he ever win one? Which seems ridiculous. But once upon a time, it's like, damn, will Michael Jordan ever win a championship? Can he ever lead a team to a championship? There's obviously lots of players throughout NBA history who unfortunately were born in the time of Michael Jordan or Shaquille O'Neal, or you mentioned Bill Russell, who don't have a championship. The late, great Kobe Bryant, can he win a championship without Shaq? So the rings thing has taken on heightened importance, and it's fueled the player movement era. But people have always been criticized for lack of championships as individuals in a team sport, which brings me to my pivot. Some honors are intangible, and Damian Lillard will probably never be regular season MVP. Unless he leaves Portland, which doesn't seem to be the case, that he ever will. He'll never be finals MVP. But he's going to go down as an all-time great and an all-time favorite. He's already one of the greatest shooters of all time. I know Steph has that locked up, but Klay Thompson and Damian Lillard are right at that same table. It's not even like head of the table and everybody down. It's almost like Last Supper, if you want. Everybody all leaned in close to Steph Curry, or it's like a little small table in a restaurant where like we crowded around it, or we putting 2 tables together, because Damian is not the all-time leading 3-point shooter in NBA history, percentage-wise or makes, but he's as good as anybody at the 3-ball, specifically the long 3-ball. Klay Thompson just had his own performance a couple of nights ago to remind us how special he is, as if we forgot. But just to not take for granted, in an era when scoring has exploded, and Damian Lillard is the second person this season after Donovan Mitchell to have 71 points. And there have been a shit ton of 40-point games this year. But just for perspective's sake, not only was he the 8th player ever to score 70 points, Damian Lillard, last night, he did it in the way that nobody else ever has, okay?
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.